So yeah, usually when that's a situation, it's just that one person. There's not like multiple, so I'll it'll be that one person. The longest time with that, probably like 6 months to a year, maybe.
And there's no guys in the picture right now?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Not a sneaky link?
No, we've currently just moved, so we're like trying to redo the house, renovate the house. I have no time. Okay. With like 2 jobs and going to school, so no.
Okay.
I have no time for it.
And you two are sisters?
Yes.
I don't see it.
He'll get it one day.
I kind of look like my dad a lot. Like, they would make jokes when we were younger that, like, my mom was with the mailman, but my dad is a mailman.
True.
Oh, shit. So it's, like, a joke, but they were married. It was all that, but...
There's no way.
It's the same mom and dad.
I'm sorry. You guys are not related. You gotta get a DNA test.
Look at the little details.
But
you gotta get a DNA test.
Yeah. You saw our IDs. We both
the way
have
that they
Vasquez.
talk.
You both have what?
Our last names are both Vasquez on our IDs. You saw it.
That doesn't really mean much nowadays. There's so many women that literally will like hook up with somebody else and just act like it's their dude's fucking baby, and like they'll never get a test, and you just never know. You know how many people out here have like that your dad is not really your dad? Yeah. That's crazy.
Well, what if this could? Yeah.
The thing is, I would say, here's the thing, like with genetics, right? Like, you're not going to get an exact amount, right? So I actually one time, I went into an Uber one time, and he was like, oh, your last name is Vasquez. Like, I have a daughter who looks just like you, and he was like, first language Spanish, and he was like, I have a daughter that looks just like you, and my wife is like, his wife was like full white, but his other child would look like Amanda. So it's not like an equal, distribution of genes.
But it's also a real thing that it could also not be
your daddy. Do you guys share the same parents? So you have the same mom and dad?
Yes, 100%. We do.
As their cousin, I can verify these two are siblings.
Also, if you saw my dad and my mom, you could see the resemblances in both of us, like both of them and us.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Anyways, okay.
He's gonna have a hard time with that
roster.
Oh, so you mean like a runner-up type system,
like dating multiple people at the same time?
No.
Okay.
Not in like a. You mean like a friends with benefits type thing? Not like cheating, right? Like, I don't know what the question is.
I don't think we really call it like a roster. Like, I can't remember the word, but like, I don't think we call it a roster.
If you mean like a bench system, like on the bench, I would say yes. I think like everyone kind of does.
You got some contacts.
I would say like you have potentials.
One sec. Go ahead.
I would say there's like potentials. There could be potentials, but. Not like actively like messing physically intimately with like multiple people, maybe talking to,
Okay. What about you?
Currently single.
Okay.
And for the last 10 years, I've been living on an island in the middle of the Pacific doing my dolphin research. There's not a lot of, I guess, potential people.
Which island? Channel Islands?
Maui.
Oh,
Hawaii.
Nice. I used to live in Hawaii.
Wait, there's not a lot of people.
Well, they're coming there. I don't mess around with married men.
Isn't the population like 100,000?
I thought it was pretty
there's
big.
not.
I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't dated for a long time.
She might marry a dolphin.
I've been
that's true.
Celibate for a long time.
How long you been celibate for?
Almost 9 years.
Damn.
But do you like masturbate?
She was not ready for that one.
Exercise.
Sexercise.
Yeah, I exercise.
She sexercises.
Do you find dolphins physically attractive?
Well, they're my family, but I
get
don't.
this lady a dolphin vibrator. That's what you need. A dolphin vibrator.
That would be a great gift.
Actually,
Does somebody watching want to send her a little dolphin gift, maybe?
We're going to set that up. I have a podcast coming out, too. It's called The Playroom. We're going to get you on there and get you a
It's
dolphin.
kind of like, what was that one show with the, let's see, it was the one with, I can't even think of it, that the older women that made the vibrators for the elderly community.
Oh, I have no idea.
Know what that is.
Oh, so funny.
Wait, so longest relationship you've ever been in?
3 years.
3 years?
With an Aussie.
With an Aussie.
Because I used to live in Australia.
Okay, and any kids? Ever married?
No.
No kids?
Just married to my animal work.
Okay. And Are you doing your work through like an organization, or is this just your own thing?
Independent research. I am a member of the Explorer Club, so you get nominated into it, like Jane Goodall or Sylvia Earle, or. But it's been independent, and I've been doing it since I was 14. So
you're not a scientist?
I study marine biology and art, so I combine the arts with science because that's the only way you can figure scientific equations out. Like, there's a science behind telepathy. That's why military does undercover stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, but the military itself, after it declassified its documentation on its telepathic programs, said that it was bunk, that it didn't work.
Well,
CIA
they're
declassified
lying.
thousands of programs on this, especially during the Cold War. It didn't work.
And they're lying.
Well,
because
yeah.
that's how...
And your evidence that they're
located.
lying is what? That you made it up? I mean, what's your actual evidence that they're lying?
Because there's a lot of evidence about how they actually did locating through... There's lots of programs that haven't been talked about. Like, there's a mammal program that is top secret, and I've been friends with people who worked on different...
Wait, so is there a government dolphin program?
It's called Mammals.
Is it top secret or? Well, not. I mean, you're
not
talking about
really
it, so
because
probably
I'm
not.
talking about it, but there's people who have worked on black op crews and in the military because I've lived a long time.
Well, I mean, that's true. Dolphins have been used in warfare for a long time, and in the idea of using animals in warfare is one of the oldest methods of warfare. So there's no doubt that animals are going to be included in research and warfare. There's no doubt that that's true.
Okay, so did you see the movie Staring at Goats?
The Men Who Stare at Goats?
Yeah.
Yeah, where they were clearly making fun of these guys who had absolutely no psychic abilities whatsoever, but were gaslit by the military into believing that they did.
Well, there's other... I've experienced situations that I guess I know that it's true. So I don't need to prove myself. I haven't been...
Have you ever heard of a man named the Amazing Randy?
No.
The Amazing Randy was a magician, very, very skilled magician. And what he did was he went around and he disproved psychic frauds. That's what his entire mission in life was. Because he was such a skilled magician, he was able to see when people were making things up when they weren't. So he issued the $1 million foundation, or the $1 million prize from his foundation for anybody who could actually demonstrate any sort of psychic ability whatsoever. Can you guess how many have been able to successfully do that?
Probably one.
Zero, not one. Not all the applicants has anybody ever been able to demonstrate even a little bit, not even with a shred of evidence that they have any type of extrasensory perception or psychic abilities.
You mean ESP?
Yeah, extrasensory perception, that's correct.
Wait,
So there was an article written about me in 1997 with the reporter coming down to the ocean and said, "Can you call in the dolphins?" And I said,
What's the author's name?
well, it was when the Santa Barbara News Press was still alive.
Do you know what the title is of the article?
Barry was the reporter, and
Barry
he
with
met
an E
me.
or an A? Barry?
Barry, yeah, and I forget his last name, but he came down to the beach. It was off of Padero Lane, and he said, "Can you call in the dolphins?" And I said, "I'll try. It's a request that I'll put out." And I said, "It takes 10 to 15 minutes for them to appear." And so I put the request out, 10 to 15 minutes. A whole group of dolphins came, and I went into the water to swim with them. So then an article came out in the newspaper, but before I spoke with him, I never used to share the telepathic, talking with animals stories with anyone, but this was in the 90s. Right, and I had come back from Australia, and then he came up. I used to work for the Dream Foundation. I don't know if you are familiar with it, but it's like Make-A-Wish, except for adults that have less than 2 years. So he came up to me and said, "What was your life like in Australia and New Zealand?" And I said, "Oh, I used to interact and swim with dolphins, wild dolphins every day, and talk with animals." And I thought everyone talked with animals. And then so he asked me, "Let's go down to the beach and see if you can do it." So then a newspaper article came out on it.
Well, you can understand though that out of all of the possible explanations, like perhaps you knew the time that these dolphins generally came out, perhaps there was all sorts of other reasons why this could have occurred. The one that we're supposed to default to is that you were sending telepathic messages into their brains, and so they knew to come to you, right? That's like, you can understand why people would be highly skeptical of that, right?
Well, people are just skeptical because they're afraid to believe. I mean, overall, people just want to be skeptics because if they believed, then the world would be a magical place.
Well, if people believe